This episode brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Shifting a little money here, a little there, and hoping it all works out? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can get a better budgeter and potentially lower your insurance bill too. You tell Progressive what you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll help find you options within your budget. Try it today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Did you know that you can live longer without food than sleep? Ready to learn more? Go back to school early with Coop by learning how to achieve an A in getting better sleep. They're here to teach you how to get your best sleep ever with their back-to-school sale and 20% off your first order. Sleep and school go hand in hand. In a Carnegie Mellon study, every lost hour of sleep meant a 0.07 dip in GPA. It's time to sleep smarter. Shop Coop's back-to-school sale today, handpicked for parents, students, and anyone who's failing in the sleep department. Coop's curated collection has everything you need to solve your biggest sleep problems. Summer school is in session with Coop Sleep Goods. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/sleep101 to get 20% off your first order. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/sleep101.
Welcome to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while, let's be real, holding on by the skin of our teeth. HBs. This week on the bonus feed, Sabrina is telling me all about books 12 through 15 of the Sea Sand Warrior series. I, for one, am super excited to get back to this sand planet and that godly menstrual pool. We've got some incredible listeners who've supported us on Patreon, and I would love to shout them out. Here's a huge thank you and tons of sweet nothings for Andrea CC, Amanda R, CSL, Kaya H, and Jill W. And this Friday, July 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're having our live watch party. So I hope you come hang with us. It's always such a fun time. All right. This week, we're going with a slightly different format, but you're still getting a full recap. Here's our discussion of Drama by A.J. Truman. Oh, Sabrina, I'm ready for today.
I am too.
I'm very excited about our last-minute, split-second decision.
Man, this is HB Hot Girl Summer version. You know, we're flying by the seat of our pants a little bit.
Yeah.
We are making snappy decisions.
This is HB Hot Mess Girl Summer.
Hot Mess Girl. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The other day in a game that I'm playing, one of my friends was like, what does HMBB even stand for? Because my base is called HMBB Inc. And they were like, what is that? And I was like, stands for Hot Mess Bad Bitch Incorporated.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that tracks. I was like, thank you for acknowledging and understanding and accepting me for who I am.
That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, HB's, look, I couldn't read The Time Traveler's Wife, all right? I'm going to do it at some point, kind of.
No, you're
maybe.
not.
Look,
No,
don't tell them about that. I'm going to do my job and stuff, regardless.
Listener, we made an agreement. We made an agreement that I'll read the book and Melody is allowed to watch the movie instead.
Yeah.
As long as we rescheduled.
Yep, as long as she got to
However,
just, mosey her way through the book.
Yeah, however.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it.
The other option was if I have to suffer and speed read, you have to suffer and speed read. Not that
I just wouldn't have heard
not that
any
I'm
of it.
Suffering. I just I was like, if
Sorry. That's where we are.
Anyway, so we did just kind of last minute. We're still working on getting our really, it's honestly, we're working on getting our shit back together since my move, your trip, you're sick. We've just never caught up. And
we haven't ever caught up. Yeah.
We're just doing our hot mess.
It's a hot mess girl summer.
A hot mess girl summer. It's fine. Everything's fine.
So what we're doing right now is last week on Friday, the Patreon got a roundup. We did a roundup of what we've been reading lately. And then we decided that today we're going to give you a quickie style. It's a quickie plus style though, because I'm going to tell you about a book, or somebody's going to tell you about a book today. And then tomorrow the other person's going to tell each other the book. And that's sort of like the way that we do our Patreon recaps. So actually the book that I'm going to recap for you, I talked about the rest of the books in that series in our roundup. So that's very exciting. But yeah, we're taking our extracurricular activities and we're putting it to good use for your entertainment, HBs.
I kind of wish that we'd recorded the catch-up already, because I feel like you're talking, are we in the time travelers one? We are. Have we recorded the catch-up, the catch-up quickie, and I just haven't been there? I wasn't there.
For patrons, we have, okay? Come on, this is their reality,
no, I know,
not
but
ours.
it's throwing me off that you are very, you are just so matter-of-fact, and to the point you're like, yeah, we've already talked, and I was like, is my memory that bad?
Oh, no.
When did that happen?
No, your memory's not that bad.
Okay. I was like, oh, I think I need to see a specialist if that's the case. I was accidental. I don't even know. Anyway, continue.
Are you ready to junk in a Poe for this book recap? Are you ready to, what is it called? Rock, paper, scissors. I used to call it junk in a Poe. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's what I called it in Hawaii. Yeah.
All right,
rock, paper, scissors. Are you ready?
Well, now I want to know what your book is.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Are we doing 1, 2, 3 shoot or 1, 2 shoot?
1, 2, 3 shoot.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3 shoot.
What? Look at it. Look, this is so you started lagging and I was like, oh
no. Okay, ready?
Right.
1. Sabrina, getting your shit together. We can't be this much of a hot mess, dude.
This is not even the most hot mess you and I have ever been, Mel.
No,
don't even fucking play.
Not.
Okay.
No, I know. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh.
No.
Ready? 1, 2,
riveting
3.
Podcasting.
1, 2, 3. Sabrina.
It's so stupid. You just...
Okay? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ah, okay. So you win. You cut my paper. All right, you go first, I guess. Or maybe
I thought loser goes first.
Oh no.
I like how you were like, all right, you're first. I was like, wait. Hang on.
Oh, so I'm going first? Okay.
Yes, we get to choose.
Okay, here we go. So I am going to do a quickie plus for you on drama. That's drama ! By A.J. Truman. It is an Own Voices MM romance, and it's an enemies to lovers, golden retriever, and black cat.
Hey, listener, I don't know if you'd noticed, Melody's, I don't think she ever left her bullshit.
Nope, I'm still in that fluffy MM zone. Is where
it's
I
okay.
am.
I support this. I'm just laughing that you said it like it was this big reveal, and it's like, oh, so that would be the equivalent of me being like, I'm doing
You're never gonna guess.
Alien sci-fi romance, which actually, shockingly, I'm not. But continue.
This is the second book in the series. So again, for listeners' reality, I've already told you about books 1, 3, and 4 in our Patreon roundup. But we got to know these two characters and like the rest of the friend group. It's based on 4 teachers who all teach together. And
God.
the first book was a second chance romance.
Are you going to drag me kicking and screaming into this series with you? Like every
AJ
other
Truman
thing
is
you've
so
read this
good.
year?
AJ Truman is so good. Remember, AJ Truman is the one who co-wrote some like I think Mountain Man books with why am I blanking on his name? Teacher of the Year, Napkins and Anecdotes.
I know who AJ Truman is. It's with
Why am I blanking on his name? We love him.
God. Wardell. M.A. Wardell.
M.A. Wardell, yes.
Yes.
So yeah, he's so good. But this is my first series of his that I've read.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Drama by A.J. Truman. So we've got Everett and Raleigh. Everett is the drama teacher at school, and he's exactly the theater kid you think he would be. He's sort of pale, and he's got like really bright auburn hair. And so one of the running themes through this is the other character, Raleigh, being like, oh, this specific blush means that he's embarrassed, or this specific blush means that he's like really mad. And he's always like reading his blushes as if they're like, you know, those splotch boys in psychiatric practices. Anyway.
For context, Melody, I'm paying attention to you. It's just if AJ Truman is anything like M.A. Wardell, I am currently stalking social medias because M.A. Wardell loves art.
Yes, loves
their
a
stuff.
fan art.
So I'm listening and I'm like, ooh, I want to see what the boys look like. Continue.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. So there's Everett, the drama teacher, and Raleigh, the football coach and PE teacher.
Shut up.
It's so good. The first book is a history teacher. It's called Ancient History, and it's a history teacher. It's a second chance with a PE teacher / soccer coach. And it is absolutely wonderful. But we're talking about this one. So Everett has a big giant problem, okay? Oh, and also they talk about Raleigh. They're like that Nordic god looking guy. Like he's very tall, very broad, very blonde. He's like, you know, all the things. He's Mr. Football, does all the weightlifting, etc. So Everett has a problem, okay? 2 of his lesbian friends are finally getting married. After 10 years, they went to college together and they did the theater program together. They're getting married and they put the meanest, most terriblest words on his invitation, and that was +1. He says the words are sticking their tongue out at me if words had tongues. And
I feel
so he's like
so seen right now.
Yeah. But it's extra crucial because his like one great love of his life broke up with him in college or like at graduation, not around graduation, at graduation. He says he was like blotting his tears with his rolled up diploma. This fucker, I know, was like the star of their college theater program. He's gone on to be on a hit Broadway show. And now he's dating his understudy / twin ? And they're like the new it couple in like the gay world or like the theater world, etc.
That's fucked up.
Yes. And so they're coming to the wedding and he's like, I can't go to this wedding just as like a sad boy. I've got to come there.
I can't be the saddest little man. Yeah. I have to.
Hot and boyfriend, okay? I need
boyfriend.
That's right.
I need a boyfriend.
He needs a boyfriend. He needs to be boyfriended. So yeah, he's like, I've got to make this happen, and I don't know how to do it. So he's like, okay, he tries like calling sex workers, and the guy's like, okay, so for that long, and he's like, I don't actually need the sex part. I just need the work part. Like, you just need to pretend to be my boyfriend. So he's like, for that much, it's going to be like $1,200. And Everett, after asking for a teacher discount.
I mean, like, we all know that public school teachers are paid very fairly and very well. For their work
rolling
that
in
they
the doughs.
do. So, like,
yeah.
What? What's this guy's name?
Everett.
And Everett. You're saying that Everett and Raleigh.
like
Roland?
Raleigh, North
Okay.
Carolina.
I thought his name was Roland. My brain remembered Roland, so I thought you were doing like a really clever, like.
It's never going to be me doing a clever pun.
No.
Play on a
No.
word. It's never going to be that, Sabrina.
That is not accurate.
You've gotta
You
lower
do them
your
all the time.
expectations.
You just never realize that you're doing it.
Just don't do them on purpose.
Until I give you a look and I'm like, oh, and I give you the benefit of the doubt every time. I'm like,
you do.
wow, Mel,
Look at
you, and you're like, what did I do? And I'm like, oh, don't be bashful. And you're like, no, really, like
Tip, bridge. I don't understand what the connection
God,
is.
that nose one was so good. Okay, continue.
Did you know that you can live longer without food than sleep? Ready to learn more? Go back to school early with Coop by learning how to achieve an A in getting better sleep. They're here to teach you how to get your best sleep ever with their back to school sale and 20% off your first order. Sleep and school go hand in hand. In a Carnegie Mellon study, every lost hour of sleep meant a 0.07 dip in GPA. It's time to sleep smarter. Shop Coop's back to school sale today. Hand-picked for parents, students, and anyone who's failing in the sleep department. Coop's curated collection has everything you need to solve your biggest sleep problems. Summer school is in session with Coop Sleep Goods. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/sleep101 to get 20% off your first order. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/sleep101.
Anyway, so meanwhile, he's going to school. They've got like the group chat with the 4 friends who you fall in love with and then watch their HEAs throughout the series. And they always have to go to these pep rallies. And Everett is so fucking pissed off at every pep rally because sports are, you know, worshipped and theater is ignored, or I don't know, like people are mean about it. Besmirched. And that morning in particular, he walked in, and from a distance, it looked like there were a bunch of names on his sign-up sheet to do the fall musical, because now they're down to 1 play. His theater department is so dwindling that they've taken it from a fall play and a spring musical to just a fall musical. And he's like, oh my God, there's a bunch of people who are here to sign up. And then he gets there, and it's like Seymour Butts and Ophelia Balls and a bunch of other super made up names that aren't actually real people. And he's so mad about it. So now he's at this pep rally and they're worshiping the football team, okay? And Raleigh gets up there and he notices that like Everett is getting more and more just like red. And he's like, I don't really understand what I did to this dude, but since I met him, he's been like, he hates everything I do. Doesn't matter if I'm silent, doesn't matter if I speak, doesn't matter if I'm cool, doesn't matter if I'm just in the corner. Does not matter. This guy fucking hates me. And so he's turned it into sort of a game. He's like, I mean, if he's going to be mad about it, then I'm just going to give him reasons to be mad. And one of those things...
Bananas. Like, what? But there are people who legitimately do that, and it's just like, that's a lot of effort. It's a lot of effort to me.
Well... yeah, but as the book goes on, there are more and more things that Raleigh will say like, oh yeah, and we won't get the salsa because there's cilantro in it. And then Everett will say, oh, do you also taste soap when you have cilantro? And he's like, no, I just know that you do. And he's like, what? When would I have told you that? And he's like, well, you didn't eat the tacos at this one teacher function, because he's been watching Everett very closely without really even realizing it. Ugh! So he's at this pep rally. He sees that Everett is just like being a bitch face about it. He's just got his bitch face on and there's nothing anybody can do to take it away. And so he's like, fuck that. And he gets up there and he's like, all right, Sourwood, I think is the name of the school. We couldn't do it without every single one of you.
Historically, the name of the school really matters, Mel. Historically, we're
it mattered
really
to me.
with names.
Sourwood in an romance. That's hilarious.
Oh my God, I didn't even read it. That kind of shit goes over my head so fucking far.
Oh my God, cool your jets.
Oh, but I do need to remember, you're not the one who came up with that one. You are.
No.
In fact,
I can see them out loud. I can see them.
You can see them out loud.
They're there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Sourwood, all one word. Anyway, so he is like, all right, we need everybody behind us. And it's been so wonderful to see everybody come out and support us. Like just this morning, Mr. Everett was up and he came up to me and he was like, there's nothing I love more in the world than seeing our football players work so hard and win. And it's just incredible to me that like this wonderful theater nerd would do that for our team. And so thank you, Mr. Everett. And like, thank you to everyone else. And Everett is just like, he turns white and then he turns into the purplest tomato afterwards. He's so angry. So we met Raleigh last book because he becomes Hutch, who is the soccer player, the soccer coach's best friend in that book.
So is this a fairly new book that has come out?
I'm actually not sure.
Because I'm realizing this is the same series as
2022.
Ancient History.
Yeah.
That's the one with the
That's the first
history
book.
teacher. And okay, because I remember seeing Ancient History and being like, I need to read this.
You
Because
do.
It's a horny history teacher and
Horny history teacher, second
cute
chance.
soccer boy.
Yeah, very cute soccer boy.
Okay, continue.
Like kind of closeted, sort of.
Uh-oh.
Almost still closeted soccer boy.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the third one is called Romance Languages because it's a French teacher and a Spanish teacher who teach across the hall from each other. In that one, the Duke is a virgin. Okay, that
Yeah,
Duke is
literally.
a virgin.
So I found AJ Truman's Instagram, and
Yeah.
I will say the description on this first picture is convincing your straight best friend to take your virginity so you're not a 35-year-old virgin. And that's cute. I'm ready.
I will say that is a bit of a misdirection because he doesn't try to convince his friend at all. His friend is like, I'm not going to let you just find randos on the internet to have your first time with. Absolutely not. I'll do it. And he's like, but you're straight.
God, I love that trope, though. I love that
Me
trope.
too. Me too.
Like,
It's basically sex lessons.
It is sex lessons, and it's
Yeah.
specifically like as somebody who like my specific flavor of aromantic. Like I don't need to be into you to fuck. Like personally,
Let's
like
do it.
Actually, it's not even the aromantic aspect of it, but like if somebody was like, I just want to have sex to experience sex, I'd be like, bet. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking
Yeah.
have fun. Whatever. I just
Sure,
love
man.
that so much. Oh, so cute. Continue.
Yeah. And then the fourth one is the super nerdy chemistry teacher. It's called Advanced Chemistry. The fourth one is Advanced Chemistry with that guy and two former students who are best friends and business partners, and one has been in love with the other one for all of their lives. And
I will
it is
say,
a
these are
a
very
triad.
cute covers.
Yeah, they're so cute. Anyway, look, we're talking about drama right now, okay? That was roundup times, Sabrina.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So after the pep rally, Everett is super, super mad. They're all in the teacher's lounge together and they like snipe at each other for a little while. And then the next thing, like the next important thing that happens is that Hutch and Amos have a housewarming party. That's book one, housewarming party. And so both of them are going to go because they're, the BFFs. So they end up at this housewarming party. They snipe at each other some more, this time over like drink choices. But then one of their friends comes up and they're like, oh my God, we have to document this moment because you two are having a normal conversation, it almost seems like. And so they begrudgingly, Everett thinks, get together and Raleigh puts his arm around him and Everett realizes that like Raleigh's always finding reasons to touch him. And then in Raleigh's POV, he's like, man, this guy fits perfectly under my arm. It's so weird. And so Chase takes this picture. I know. Chase takes this picture and then nobody thinks about it again. Until Everett is on the phone with one of the brides. They're chatting about the wedding. And she's like, oh my God, you have like really buried the lead on your new boyfriend. And Everett is like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you are playing so coy. You know that Nordic god that I saw a picture of you with. And then he goes to Instagram really quick and he sees that Amos posted a picture of them together. And he's like, look at that dopey smile on my face. That's not how I remember taking that picture. And like Raleigh's just beaming. And then Amos, the caption was, two of my favorite people together at last. And so he's like, he meant together at last as in like in the same room without going for each other's jugulars. But now his whole theater friend group thinks Together at Last as in boyfriends. And there have already been like other pictures of them from other like teachers, you know, staff meetings or whatever,
events,
staff parties.
Stuff. Yeah, so like it makes sense that they would know each other, that they would be getting to know each other because they're.
So he then is like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because he is so hot. He's like this. As soon as she said how hot he was, the lies just started pouring forth. He is, isn't he? He's so hot. He's like, so into me.
A sexy Nordic man that's mine.
Yeah, he
only
does butt stuff to me all the time, and it's great. So he says, honestly, I wouldn't put it past Everett to say that. He says a few things like that throughout the book, and it's so funny. Anyway, the voice in all of these books is pristine. Anyway, so he's like, but I bet he can't come because football season. And he's trying to like get out of it. But then she says, you know what? It might be better if he doesn't come because Noah is coming with his new boyfriend, Gavin. And he's like, actually, Raleigh will be there. He'll be there. It'll be great. We're all going to be there, and there will be no drama. I mean, I can't speak for Noah, but there will be no drama from my side. So now he has to get Raleigh on board. Ugh. So he goes up to Raleigh after practice one day, and he's like, hey. He's like, oh, hey, Raleigh, you're doing such a good job with the football bros and the blocks and tackles and stuff. And like, are you ready for your game against this school? And Raleigh is getting more and more uncomfortable, being like, what is do you need something? And he's like, what? No, I don't. Just coming to talk to my old pal Raleigh, and you're an amazing coach. So, and like, you're so helpful, he says. And he's like backing away from him, being like, okay, no, seriously. Are you a pod person? What's happening? You're being nice and it's really freaking me out. Like, do you need help burying a body? And Everett's like, first of all, if I got myself into that position, why do you think I would come to you? And Raleigh, totally straight-faced, completely serious, says, I mean, I can bench 200. I can throw a body into a grave like it's nothing. I'm the only one who could pick it up. Everett's just like,
but like also using that as like a flex, you know?
Like a humble brag. Come on.
I can bench 200.
I PR'd on the bench press just last week. So anyway, he's like, what do you need? Tell me everything. Personal record.
PR'd? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can PR in like running, but that's usually speed.
Look at you like fitness goddess. Hot mess fitness goddess summer. Ooh. What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I power washed my whole driveway and my hands and forearms are so sore. From all the squeezing I had to do on that handle.
Ripped.
They are. Check out the way these muscles are so corded. I bet I could find a vein for you somewhere. But I could, I can't. We don't have time for that. So anyway,
phlebotomy with heaving bosoms.
No, it's isn't it like varicosity? What is it? When you're like super veiny, you're so jacked that like your veins just pop out. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, I was talking about if you were getting blood drawn. Isn't that phlebotomy?
It is phlebotomy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I also have excellent veins for that. I'm transparent, and so you can just see my veins, and they're so ready to be poked all the time.
I bet a color tattoo would look so vibrant on you.
Oh, yeah, it seriously would. Yeah. Yeah, and it would totally change depending on the lighting. I've got no background to help with those color saturations.
They're like, let me see what your basal tonal structure of your skin is, and it's just nothing. It's just a blank canvas.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, so he tells Raleigh like what he needs. He's like, I need a boyfriend. I need a fake boyfriend to go to this wedding with me because I've got to impress my old boyfriend and his new boyfriend. And it's just like terrible. And so Raleigh's like, well, when is it? And he tells him the weekend. And he's like, actually, that's the one weekend that I'm free from football. It's like in between the regular season and the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, all right, you know what? If we're going to do this, I need you to do one thing for me. And Everett's like, oh, what? And he's like, come on here to the field. And he's like, you do one good throw with this football into that net, and I'll do it. And Everett's like, what?
That's just throwing mean.
Well, wait. Everett's like, what does throwing a football have to do with anything? And he's like, I need to know that you're committed to this, so you're going to have to do something I like. So Everett, he's like, all right, so put your hand on the thing. And like, he's trying to coach him. And Everett just pulls his arm back with great form and just bings it into this net. And then he's like, I'll get you with the details later. No, it's not. No. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. The next thing that happens is that Everett goes up to Raleigh and he's like, we have to get our story straight. And he's like, and Raleigh he's the king of like the badumch.
Mm-hmm. I can see it coming already.
Yeah. And he's always doing like these clever portmanteaus, the combined word situations. Mm-hmm. So he'll be like, it's glaringly obvious. It's globvious. It's fantastic. So it reminded me of the heroine from that Lisa Kleypas book that we did, Devil's Daw. Nope. The one, the one with...
Yep.
The second St. Vincent? That one? Peggy?
Devil in Spring.
Penelope? Yes, Devil in Spring. So he's like, okay, we'll come over Sunday to my house and we'll get everything together. So he goes over there and Raleigh opens the door. He answers the door in just a towel, water dripping off of his pecs and abs. And the first thing that Everett says is, you're naked. And he's like, well, I was in the shower and I didn't want you to wait. That wouldn't be very boyfriendly of me, would it? And Everett's like, you need to go put some clothes on, please. And he's thinking to himself, like, focus. Don't get blinded by the muscles, He's usually not even into guys with muscles, but somehow it's really working on Raleigh. So he forces Raleigh to go put clothes on, and then they're talking through everything. And he's looking at his house, and he's like, his house looks a lot like mine. Like, all of his furniture is like sort of funky and mismatched. And like the house is sort of modest. This doesn't make sense with like the Ralph Lauren polos and the cashmere sweaters that I see Raleigh in. I thought he had money. I don't get it. And then he's like, and that couch looks so familiar. Turns out they're both super duper into getting secondhand things from places like Facebook Marketplace or the thrift store or like buy nothing groups,
Oh my gosh, so he's seen this furniture before.
He wanted that couch, but he wasn't fast enough because Raleigh was faster. He's like, I've always wondered who got that couch. And Raleigh was like, yeah, got it quicker.
Who's the sniper stealing the furniture? I love.
Exactly.
Did you know that you can live longer without food than sleep? Ready to learn more? Go back to school early with Coop by learning how to achieve an A in getting better sleep. They're here to teach you how to get your best sleep ever with their back-to-school sale and 20% off your first order. Sleep and school go hand in hand. In a Carnegie Mellon study, every lost hour of sleep meant a 0.07 dip in GPA. It's time to sleep smarter. Shop Coop's back-to-school sale today. Hand-picked for parents, students, and anyone who's failing in the sleep department. Coop's curated collection has everything you need to solve your biggest sleep problems. Summer school is in session with Coop Sleep Goods. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/sleep101 to get 20% off your first order. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/sleep101.
So they get to know each other a little bit better. Raleigh's really cagey about his family. And Raleigh's like big issue, the reason that he's been sort of man-whoring around for a while is that he had a fiance who just shattered his heart like 3 years ago. Not only did she cheat, but he walked in on his rival football team's coach, like he calls him Coach Pale Cheeks, because he just saw this guy's flat ass thrusting into his fiance in their bed. And they've been dating ever since. Like, it's terrible. So he just doesn't trust anyone. It's awful. And, I'm sorry, when Everett was asking him whether or not he would do this for him, he's like, well, what would you expect? Like, would there be holding hands? Would there be kissing? And Everett was like, no, there's no kissing. Like, that wouldn't be necessary. I wouldn't want it to make it too gay for you anyway and make you uncomfortable. And Raleigh's like, I'm fine with that. And he's like, well, I don't know what the football culture is like, and I'm just worried for you. And he's like, no, I'm fine with that. I told you, I'm a whole sexual. And he did this in the first book, too. He told Hutch about the fact that he's a homosexual. And in the first book, it's hilarious because Hutch is thinking to himself,
Wait.
I guess that's... Shush! Don't ask. He thinks to himself, I guess that's why he dates more women because, like, they're one up on us for holes. That's really weird, though, to say it like that. And then finally, Raleigh, in the midst of all of this explanation, is like, yeah. You know, I look at the whole person. I don't care about, like, their genitals or their whatever else.
Okay,
but
so
everyone has that reaction.
Well, I thought that he was saying whole as in WH. I took it as what he intended, and then you kept
good for
going,
you.
And I was like, "Oh, that is not what I thought that he was saying."
No, everybody expects Raleigh to be super crass, right? And he's not. Like, this is one of the times when Everett starts realizing that he's pegged Raleigh wrong for their entire relationship. No, not yet. They make that joke too later on, but he realizes, like, he's not rich. He just is frugal like I am, and he knows the way to shop. And, like, he knows to go to thrift stores in upscale neighborhoods or whatever, you know? And in this way, he's thinking that Raleigh will take any hole, but Raleigh just wants to get to know the whole person, you know? Like, he's constantly underestimating and mischaracterizing Raleigh in very unfair ways, and he's starting to see that basically right now. So Raleigh's really cagey about his family, and he gets a little bit of the backstory on, like, the friend group and Noah, the ex-boyfriend, and all of that. So after that, they have this opportunity to get some social... Why am I blanking on all of the words I need? It's, like social proof, you know, about the fact that they are boyfriends. So,
oh, good God! If you need that from if that's a requirement for a relationship, like, I'm so sorry to all my exes.
No,
maybe that's why we're exes.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. It is social proof. So he says that his friend Danita is in, like, a really small play that she's starring in, and he asks Raleigh to go to provide some social proof that they're, like, a real life couple, so that she'll go back to, like, text the friend group and be like, OMG, they're so cute together, or whatever, before the wedding, right? And Raleigh's like, I don't do theater, but, like, sure, man, I'll go. And so Raleigh is expecting, the only play he's ever seen is Mamma Mia. And that's, like, a big thing throughout the story because he thinks Mamma Mia is, like, the height of theatrical goodness. And Everett's like, oh, this is just like a jukebox musical, whatever. And the play he's taking him to is a black box experience of Einstein in retrograde. And he's like, Raleigh, have you ever seen a play? He's like, I've seen Mamma Mia. Best play ever. And he's like, oh, no. So this is going to be, like, avant-garde and edgy and stuff. And he explains the black box experience. He says, you know, there's no costumes. There's no real, like, there's no sets or anything. The audience has to create that for themselves. And then later on, Raleigh will say, are there any songs or do we need to make those up for ourselves too? Everett's like, oh God, I don't know what to do with you. So then Raleigh's like, he's like, do you want to just go home? And Raleigh's like, no, I'm here. I'm so ready to go see Einstein in utero. Yeah. And it's the best. So one of my other favorite things about this is that there are so many correlations between theater and sports that, like, a lot of people don't even realize. But because of the way that they speak to each other, you start to see that. So, for example, when they talk about how good he was at throwing that football, Everett's like, yeah, I mean, of course, but, like, that doesn't mean I'm going to audition for the football team anytime soon. And Raleigh's like, try out. You're going to try out for the football team. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, fine. And then they'll talk about rehearsals versus practices and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, okay, so then later on, they'll do a sports ball thing. And Everett will be like, okay, but if I'm bored, can we leave at intermission? And he's like, halftime. It's halftime in football. So there's a bunch of cute shit like that. When Raleigh has to do a theater thing later on, he'll be like, okay, well, are we going to be able to look at the playbook? And he's like, the script. It's a script in theater. Okay, thank you so much.
That's so endearing, though.
It's so cute. Everything about it is so fucking cute. They do this play. Raleigh's mind is opened a little bit. And he's like, normally, he also thinks like the height of art and artistic prowess is the Fast and the Furious franchise. And like, I'm not going to disagree with him. You know what I mean?
As somebody who almost broke their neck at like 9 years old because of Fast and the Furious,
fair enough.
I support this.
At one point, somebody walks in the room and everybody fawns over him. And Raleigh thinks to himself, I mean, he's not Dwayne Johnson. Jeez. Just love it. Anyway, so
Fair.
They go and they do this thing, and then they talk to Danita afterwards, and she's like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. And Raleigh's really engaging with her, and he's giving her very specific compliments on her performance, and he asks her questions about like her process and stuff, and it's fucking adorable. And Everett, at this point, is starting to think to himself, like, I can't tell if he's doing certain things because ruse or because he's really being genuine. You know, and so Everett's starting to have those questions as well now. Afterwards, they're like, we're wired. And so Everett's like, we can get a drink, and I know just the place. So he takes him to a favorite watering hole in town that's hosting Musical Mondays.
That sounds delightful.
Yep. And so they get themselves a cell block Tang from the special, menu. And
I love a witty themed
I know.
thing. You know?
I know. Yeah. So as they're talking about all of this, Raleigh's like, yeah, I'm really glad that I went to the play. I didn't want to, but like I'm really glad I did because it's got me thinking about, you know, different things. And as they're talking, he's like, yeah, you're going to have to come to a game. Because I think, you know, there's a lot of crossover between sports and theater. And Everett's like, no, absolutely not. And Raleigh's like, I mean, there is, though. Like, I really think you should come to a Huskies game. That's their mascot. You should come to a Huskies game because, like, there's drama on the field, you know? And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. What's the drama? Who gets knocked down first? And Raleigh's like, yeah. Okay? Yeah. Unironically, exactly. But then he's so mean. Everett is so mean, our little black cat. It's so mean. Okay, I'm just going to read you his tirade because it really does some work.
Why do I feel like somebody got bullied as a child and
I wonder.
by the jockey boys?
I wonder. Yeah. So Raleigh's like, don't knock it till you've tried it. You know, football builds character. And then Everett goes off. He says, Raleigh, let's get something straight. I will never like football. It signifies the demise of culture. It's built on stupidity and cruelty. How do you get a bunch of guys to work up the nerve to hit each other week after week? What halfway intelligent person would sign up for that? What kind of characters are you building? You cultivate hatred and meanness in them. I've experienced it firsthand. It's a miracle I stepped back into a high school ever again. Fuck, I might lose my job because of this great American pastime. So the whole school may worship you and your team, but to me, football players are just a bunch of dipshit bullies with brain damage. Yeah.
Everett, that's like wildly unnecessary.
Wildly unnecessary.
Like, yeah, brain damage. Like TBIs are a problem in football and a lot of contact sports, but like, my man, that's you don't gotta go for the throat like that, you know. You don't need to go for the jugular, especially in a way that's like, anyway.
So it says, as soon as I stopped and played back what I just said, I realized I'd crossed a line. And it's just because he's had these like speeches, you know, rolling around in his head for years. And it says Raleigh's face had a blank non-reaction, as if he switched onto human autopilot. Can you imagine doing that to a golden retriever? You know?
It's mean.
It's so mean. So he says, okay then. And he puts down his cup really gently and he's like, you know what? I didn't want to go to the play, but I'm glad I did. And maybe it's for the best that you find a new boyfriend. And he leaves the bar. So Everett, I know it's horrible. It's horrible.
Everett.
So Everett is like, oh no, and he goes to run after him. By the time he gets out to the car, Raleigh's doors are closed and he's like revving the engine to about, like, because he's about to leave. And Everett like knocks on the window and Raleigh doesn't even like acknowledge his presence. And so as he starts pulling forward, Everett does what he says any normal person would do, and he jumps in front of the car.
Jumps on top of the hood? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he jumps in front of the car, it taps him, and he just goes down. Like, really, he's like a wet pool. He's like a wet spaghetti noodle, just like, bam.
A wet pool.
So then, a wet pool noodle is what I was going to say, but that doesn't make a lick of sense. It's not what I was going for. Different kind of nude. You know what I mean?
Different kind of nude? It's the kind you fuck.
Pardon me?
That was a really old Dark Lover callback.
Who's fucking pool noodles in Dark Lover?
Noodles?
Why can't I remember this?
Pasta fucking?
Oh my God. Yes, that Reddit thread where I talked about what kind of noodles are best to fuck.
The like 15-minute conversation you and I had on pod about the best kind of noodle to fuck. I can't believe that. Oh God. I thought we were in this together.
I know. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. So anyway, Raleigh immediately jumps out and he's like, oh no, like, Everett, are you okay? And he gets him up and he lifts up his shirt and he starts like really, really tenderly touching him on the abdomen. And Everett's like, what is going on? And he's like, I'm just checking to make sure there aren't any signs of internal bleeding. I have to do this for my guys. They get hit a lot. You know, I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. And Everett's like, I don't think I've ever been touched this tenderly by a man before. He says, like, all of his interactions with men are like a race to get naked, and then it's a race to orgasm, and then it's like get out, you know? He thinks Everett says he thinks of dating as like a contact sport. So Raleigh's being so sweet. And then he says, Raleigh, I'm really sorry. And they sit down on a bench together, and Raleigh gets him some water out of his truck, and he's like really tending to him. And then Everett explains why he was so terrible just now, and like all of the years and years of hurt and bullying and everything that led up to that moment. And so Raleigh says, like, okay, but have you heard rumors of football players at Sourwood doing anything like that? And Everett tries to open his mouth, and then he's like, oh no, all I can come up with are memories from my high school years. And then he's like, well, your guys defaced my sign. And Raleigh's like, oh God, how do you know that? And he's like, well, they're the most obvious suspects. And he's like, that's not how our justice system works. If you give me proof, I will reprimand them up one side and down the other, you know? But you can't just say these guys did it because you think they did. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because you don't like jocks.
Yeah. And he's like, and so he goes, yeah, is that the way you acted in high school? A big bully? And Raleigh's like, no, actually. Like the captain when I was a freshman was one of those guys who was like so insecure about his game that he would take it out on all the other kids, and like that then trickles down and the rest of the team would act that way. But the minute I became captain my junior year, I put a kibosh on all assholery, and like he says he started volunteering for like being a peer resource, and so the rest of the team followed suit, and the football team became a force of good. And he's like, that's the way I run my football team now. He says, my players aren't dipshits. They're in all the same classes as your theater nerds. And I need you to maybe think about how hard it is to go from like full-time school with a full-time class load and all of the hormonal teenager shit and family shit and social shit, and then add 4 hours of practice a day with the sun beating down on you and getting the life kicked out of you all the time. And like, think about what these jocks are juggling, you know? And Everett's just like, humanizing jocks. I hate it, but okay, yeah, fine. And then they decide to go back into Musical Mondays together, and it's really cute.
Did you know that you can live longer without food than sleep? Ready to learn more? Go back to school early with Coop by learning how to achieve an A in getting better sleep. They're here to teach you how to get your best sleep ever with their back-to-school sale and 20% off your first order. Sleep and school go hand in hand. In a Carnegie Mellon study, every lost hour of sleep meant a 0.07 dip in GPA. It's time to sleep smarter. Shop Coop's back-to-school sale today. Hand-picked for parents, students, and anyone who's failing in the sleep department. Coop's curated collection has everything you need to solve your biggest sleep problems. Summer school is in session with Coop Sleep Goods. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/sleep101 to get 20% off your first order. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/sleep101.
And then he says, okay, now you got to come to Sunday football with me. And Everett's like, oh, hard pass. Absolutely not. There's no way I'm doing that with you. And Raleigh's like, you have to, because what? We're going to go and tell everybody that, like, we only do all of your interests? What kind of relationship is that? And he's like, fuck, you're right. Okay. And Raleigh's really been putting a lot of effort into this, way more than I thought he would.
It's because he's a golden retriever, Everett.
Yeah. So he takes him to the same place because Musical Mondays is one night, but like they also do Sunday football.
Oh,
and I know. And place is run by a book in another one of his series set in the same town.
No,
it's like the Barkeep and the Somebody Else.
Yeah, I already saw it on the God damn it.
Yeah, I know. I'm fixing to go down a real big rabbit hole.
This is why I hadn't started A.J. Truman yet, and it's because I remember looking at the back catalog and going, oh no, this is a universe. This isn't a single book. It's not a single series. This is a universe. Like, I can't read one series and be like, oh yeah, I enjoyed my time adventuring around in A.J. Truman's brain.
Nope, you're going to be really curious about with the owner of the bar and the guy who thought he was straight for a while.
Stop it.
And the way that they get together.
I wasn't prepared to be literally backpacking, right? Like, I was looking for like a hike to the closest waterfall kind of situation.
Absolutely. No, now you're hiking across Europe. It's a whole summer thing.
This is the Pacific Coast Trail, or what's it called? Pacific Crest or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, you're in Appalachia now.
Yeah, it's the Appalachian Trail. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So anyway,
God damn
they
it,
go
Melody,
to this game.
Son of a bitch, I don't have time for this.
This is where Raleigh tells him that he knows he doesn't like cilantro. So at first, Everett is very bored. He's like doing social medias or whatever, and he's like, I don't understand. And as they're like looking up at the TV, he's like, wait, so all those guys, what are they doing? Like gossiping about the players? And he's like, well, they're doing some sports analysis. They're like old players. They're not gossiping
about the players.
Yeah, they're doing this thing. And then Everett goes, what's the difference between that and gossiping? And Raleigh says, less sass, I guess. So then he explains like what's going on in this team, because it's sort of a LeBron James leaving Cleveland kind of a situation where he, like, this one quarterback left this team that gave him a chance, and then now he's a quarterback of another team who's paying him more money, and like there's an underdog who wants to beat their old leader, and this guy needs to prove that he's doing great on his own, and like the whole business, right? And so he's getting Everett into this narrative. And oh my God, one of the servers is like, if you guys are faking, you're doing a phenomenal job. I've never seen somebody look at somebody the way that he looks at you. I know. And like as Everett's getting more and more into it and like more and more tense, Raleigh starts like massaging his shoulders, and he puts like his chin on the top of his head to watch a bunch of the plays.
My God, if you give me a spontaneous massage, like especially out in public, like when somebody comes up behind me and I'm sitting down and then like they put their hand on my shoulder and do like a squeeze, it's like, I hope you brought your mop and bucket,
right?
Because I'm a puddle now. I'm just melted on the floor. It's fine. You can do that again. Can you do that again? Actually, just little squeezy boy, please.
Oh, it's so good. So at the end, the Wolves, their team, like come out of nowhere and they win the game, and it's a nail biter. And so they're screaming, and one of the bears beside him, because at one point Raleigh or Everett was like, was like, no, there's no queer people who watch football. And then Raleigh's like, first of all, I exist. Second of all, weren't those bears at Musical Monday? And he's like, oh shit. Yeah, they were just like singing Les Mis into their beers last week. So they like high five, and the bear almost breaks all of his fingers off. They've high fived so hard. And then he turns to Raleigh to do more jubilation at him. And he thinks they're going to like high five or hug or something else. And Raleigh just grabs his face and lays a smackaroo on him that's so good. It's Banana Town bonkers. Okay. He doesn't know what to do with himself. And he doesn't know, like, why it's happening, right? Because technically there's nobody here they have to impress or prove anything to, you know? And Raleigh pulls back and he's like, that was unexpected and unplanned, but also I've never had a kiss that good before. And it's just so good. So then he drives him home. And Everett says, it's probably good that happened, you know, because now we know what it's like to kiss each other. And how weird would it have been if at the wedding you tried to kiss me and I freaked out, you know? And Raleigh goes, okay, but just for the here and now, you are not freaking out right now? And he's like, no, I'm totally cool. Totally
Buddy,
cool about it.
This is definitely a freak out.
Yeah. And so they're like, yeah, I'm going to go up and, you know, if this was a real date, I would kiss you goodnight, Raleigh says. And then Everett says, yeah, if this is a real date, if you're really my boyfriend, I would invite you up to spend the night. And they like look at each other and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go now. Goodbye. And they look at each other again. And I think it's from Raleigh's perspective. And so he says, I don't know who leaned in first, but suddenly they're just like making out hard again. And Everett tries to jump from his seat and straddle Raleigh in the driver's seat, but he does one of those butt honks that are really loud and jarring. And so he tries to jump back. And Raleigh's like, that was the seat position. That was not me. You get back over here. And he moves his chair back so that Everett has all the room in the world to straddle him and make out like bandits, right? And then he's like, okay, well, I think I'm ready to do sex. But just so you know, Raleigh, this is hate sex. You know, it's going to be hate sex. And Raleigh's like, yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
Everett, just a note. If you have to put the disclaimer out there that it's hate sex, it's probably not hate sex. I don't know if
It
you're
might
on
not be.
the same page yet, but just so you know, maybe this is a PSA for like listener. Like,
Yeah.
if you have to clarify, it's hate sex. This is hate sex.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw it out there that maybe
You might
it's
want to interrogate
maybe
that a
it's
little
not.
more.
Hate
Yeah.
sex. It might not be hate sex.
Yeah. So at one point, Raleigh thinks to himself, there's no place for hate in this world except for this bedroom. It's amazing. So they go up and they're like making out, and Everett starts to undress himself, and Raleigh's like, wait, no, I want to do that. And Everett's like, I know how to undress myself. And Raleigh says, yeah, but I like doing it. It's like a turn on. So he starts undressing him, and he's like doing it a little bit slower than you might with a hate sex. And then he hits his knees and just starts going down on Everett like crazy. And then Everett is like, wait, if you're telling me your turn-ons, I should probably tell you mine, right? And Raleigh's like, yeah, absolutely, please tell me. And Everett's like, I really like it when, like, stubble scrapes on my dick a little bit. Like, it's really hot, and it reminds me that I'm, like, with a man, which is all I wanted to do for all the years I was closeted. And, you know, I just really like it. And so Raleigh does. And then he's going down on him more. And I think at one point Everett goes down on him again. And then he's like, wait, you got to stop because there's hate sex to be had. And so, man, they bone down so good. And Everett is dying and Raleigh is having a religious experience. And it's like a whole thing, you know? What are you giggling about over there?
So you remember what I told you about before we started recording?
Yes.
I'm just realizing, you ever just have a moment where you don't really register how pent up you are until somebody says something? Because you were like, I just really like when the stubble, blah, 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 like rubs on my dick. And I was like, am I too horny to record my fucking podcast? Like, not like right this second horny, you know, but like,
Yeah.
just in
But just like a
general
state
in
of being.
life, like just as a state of being. Like, oh God, I think I need to get laid because, like, you said the stubble on the dick thing, and I was like,
Oh golly.
I don't even have
Stubble on the
stubble or
inside of
a
the
penis.
thighs.
Jesus,
Yeah.
yeah. Like all of a sudden, my brain was like, "Oh, are we changing tracks?" No, bitch, we're not.
No.
You're recording a fucking podcast, okay? Get the fuck off of Tinder. I'm not
Wrong
on
time,
Tinder
wrong
right now,
place.
but like, this is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the time. Continue. Oh my God, that's fucking embarrassing. My friends are gonna give me
it's
shit
so
about
good.
that.
Oh man, at one point, Everett says like he's about to. So Everett's bottoming, and Raleigh is like about to enter him, and he's like, "Okay, well, I just need you to know that like you're one of the biggest guys I've ever been with." And Raleigh's like, "Not the biggest," and he's like, "Technically, no. Actually, I've been with a guy who was so big that like it wouldn't work. Like physically, it was. I felt bad for him. Like it just wasn't gonna happen." And so then Raleigh, as he's saying this, he says, "How are you still so chatty with a dick in your ass?" And Everett goes, "It's just like natural born talent." And Raleigh giggles. And then he's like, "I'm laughing during sex. This is so fun." And when he had sex with his ex, it was like going to church, you know, like, don't take the Lord. It's like so solemn, and don't take the Lord's name in vain and all the bullshit. And he's like, "This is so great." And then he sneaks out in the middle of the night because the only other person he's fallen asleep with is the ex that cheated on him really badly, and he can't do it right now emotionally. So he sneaks out, and then basically it's time for wedding, okay? And they're very excited about it. Raleigh decided he was going to drive. Everett says, "Oh yeah, Raleigh was like, it'll make it more believable if I'm behind the wheel," and like he wants to contribute something to the trip, but I'm pretty sure he just wants to like be the one behind the wheel. He's like a top in all facets of life. So then Everett is like really antsy, really weird, and he just blurts out in the car, "That was a one-time thing." And Raleigh's like, "Okay."
Sir.
And he's like, "Should we talk about it?" And Raleigh's like, "Do you need to talk about it?" And he's like, "I probably should." So they try to do that. And then he's like, "It was just a one-time thing. It's like totally fine and everything's okay. But, you know, we're never going to do it again. But will you stop at a rest area?" So they stop at this rest area. And then as they're coming, like they do everything as far away from each other and in total silence. And then as they're coming out, all of a sudden, Raleigh just pushes Everett up against a wall. And he says, "Just so you know, like you talking about not wanting to talk about things is such a fucking turn on." And then Everett says, "Well, just so you know, you driving in your aviator bullshit sunglasses is really, really a huge turn on. What, did you get all of your wardrobe at 80s Villains R Us?" And then Raleigh says, "Hey, Everett, do you remember that time that you said that you wanted to hate fuck me and hate swallow my cum?" And Everett's like, "Yeah, I do remember that." And Raleigh's like, "It's been living rent-free in my head since then." And then Everett looks at him and he says, "Well, like generations before us, I'm going to suck you dry in a rest area bathroom." And they go in.
So I have a quick question, Melody.
Yeah, uh-oh.
I think one of the funniest things to me about like a quickie plus, a solo quickie plus instead of a quickie of some flavor is I never have any idea how far into a book you are. And I am wondering.
Are you?
Just
Hold on, let me Google suck you dry.
how much longer a book is, because
It could be anything.
are we just gonna do? Is this entire episode?
Oh no.
Are we like?
I'm at 57%.
Yeah. Okay. It almost. I'm wondering. Is this 2 weeks? Are we just doing a week of you telling me book and then a week of me telling you book? Because
I
it
think
seems
maybe.
like I think that might be what's happening. Like you started going, and I was like, I don't know that. There's no way
She's
we're
going,
past
going,
60%. There's no way. Like if we're past 50, it's not far. It's not much. You know, it's not much.
Honestly, this is the best case scenario for me because I have forgotten to tell you about a couple of things, and it would be way better if I had more time.
All right. All right, let's fucking go. You know what? On the fly, hot mess HB summer in action. Listener, bear with us, okay?
Yes,
if these are your first episodes, this is not your regularly scheduled programming because for the last month or so, and apparently for the next couple of weeks, we don't know what regularly scheduled programming looks like. We're fucking going hot mess summer, baby.
You know what? We're making the best of all the bullshit is what we're doing.
We sure fucking are. Let's fucking go.
We're still providing quality content.
Oh, man. I've been staying prepared because I knew that I was going to be doing a thing next. You know, I was but now I'm just going to get cozy and settled in and get ready to keep giving you shit.
Yeah. That's where we're going to stop for today. We'll be back tomorrow for part 2 of Drama by A.J. Truman. I mean, we gotta get to this wedding. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomspodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you tomorrow.
Did you know that you can live longer without food than sleep? Ready to learn more? Go back to school early with Coop by learning how to achieve an A in getting better sleep. They're here to teach you how to get your best sleep ever with their back-to-school sale and 20% off your first order. Sleep and school go hand in hand. In a Carnegie Mellon study, every lost hour of sleep meant a 0.07 dip in GPA. It's time to sleep smarter. Shop Coop's back-to-school sale today. Hand-picked for parents, students, and anyone who's failing in the sleep department. Coop's curated collection has everything you need to solve your biggest sleep problems. Summer school is in session with Coop Sleep Goods. Visit coopsleepgoods.com/sleep101 to get 20% off your first order. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/sleep101.